What's going on, guys? I'm Simple Simon, I'm your comic book noob. Welcome to the NOOB Rebirth, the comic show where a comic book noob talks comics. Say hi, Mark! Hi, Mark! He's very busy today. We're running a bit late today. On today's episode, I want to talk to Mark about comic book spec and whether it's good or bad for the comic book industry or market, I guess, because I know speculation is a big thing in the comic book world.
And I don't even know what a spec book is.
You don't even know what a spec book is, so we'll teach you some terminology.
Educate the old man.
We'll teach you some terminology before we get going.
Educate the old man. Say it. Say it.
Educate the old man.
Yeah!
If you guys are new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and let's do this. Alright, so for Mark and for those who don't know, a spec book is a book, I guess, that gets hyped up a little bit. People speculate that it's going to have some sort of value due to maybe a TV appearance or something like that. Basically, it's when people start talking about a book and the value of that book in the marketplace anyway will shoot up in price.
So, first you referred to our last episode, you know, with the terminology. You know, but explain what the term.
I just did. Sometimes it could be a book that last week was $2 and now this week all of a sudden it's shot up to $30 because of speculation. I guess I'll use a few examples. The reason I wanted to bring this topic up was because I think it was last week a book came out. It was an independent book called ENIAC and it was by a small independent company called Bad News, I believe. And that book has been selling for quite a high price, even though no one knows what it is. I believe the reason that it's become such a high price spec book is because it's the first book from a new publisher called Bad News, and it was very low print. So people who maybe put that book on their standing order or something obviously would have got it at cover price, but if you didn't buy it from a shop, you're paying Australian money. I think I saw it selling for about $130, $140 for a book that no one knows anything about. Another good example of a spec book recently is it was a West Coast Avengers book, which was the first appearance of White Vision, which appeared recently in the WandaVision show. So that book, obviously, recently I've just seen it everywhere. People showing it off, that they picked it up for $2 or whatever it was, and now it's like a $40 book or something like that. But back to the whole ENIAC book. So Mark, because I know you're probably not aware of it, but I heard that this Bad News book was a very low print. I heard some people say it was print to order, but here's something interesting, right? Get this, Mark. So my buddy Stu at Infinite Comics sent me this thing. And this was directly from, I believe, the publisher, I think. Sorry, I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Bad Idea is the name of the publisher. Sorry, I apologize for that. So, Bad Idea. Effective immediately. Bad Idea destination store retailer has been issued a permanent life ban. As a reminder, Bad Idea rule number 2 states, Bad Idea comics must be sold for no more than cover price for 30 days from street date. That's a big thing, right?
That's a bold thing to do.
So yeah,
and I think that's the goal for them to do that. That's a good thing. They're standing up to principles.
Yes, exactly, right. So I guess the whole reason I want to bring this episode up is is comic book speculation hurting the comic book industry? Because and the only thing I'm saying is when a new book comes out, how can a comic shop possibly be selling that book at 5 times the cover price?
It's not hurting anyone because the comic book stores are selling it that much. Then they're winning, obviously, because they're making the cashola.
But do you think it's fair?
But it's hurting the people,
the consumer
more because if they want it, then they're going to have to pay more for it. That's where it's hurting. It's our job as a retailer to stop what's happening, not take advantage of it. That's the big difference.
Do you think it's off-putting though for people who maybe are new to comics when if you just get into this sort of thing and you see, oh that's cool, I want to get this book, and then all of a sudden it's like, why is it selling 5 times the price on the weekly release? Like, it's going to put a lot of people off, I feel like.
I wouldn't say put you off. It does, obviously, not everyone's going to spend, you know, a big amount of coin just to get a spec book, but some people will just
I
to
think
say the future investment or the whole FOMO thing, you know.
Yeah, so I know FOMO is obviously a big deal now, and I definitely suffer from it sometimes. But well, it just sucks that sometimes if you're collecting a run, and then all of a sudden you're missing that one because when it's on your pull list and the store suddenly you're like, oh, sorry, we didn't have enough for alternate worlds. That is just the biggest bullshit story. Like, isn't that what a standing order is for, or pull list is for, right? And I've said many times here, and I'm not just trying to promote Mark or anything like that, but I know he keeps a lot of his books, even if it is a spec book, he'll keep it on the shelf at the shelf price for at least that 30 days, like Bad Idea suggests.
Sometimes longer.
I don't mind if people maybe want to stock up on a book either, and like you said, comic books are an investment too, right, Mark?
Of course, it's to a certain extent. People are now, you've got the people who don't even read the books. The people are just buying the spec books.
Matt Spidey.
You know, so, yeah, he's got to, Matt Spidey, you've got to read, right? But that's what comics are made for, to read. You know, so yeah, it's just everyone's different, right? Everyone collects differently, everyone reads differently.
And you have to collect the way you see fit.
Alright, comic books were always made to read, and it's the old school readers who want to read who are being probably disadvantaged with spec books.
Yeah, definitely. When a shop sells it at obviously 5 times the cover price on the weekly release, I guess what it can avoid is flippers who come in and buy every copy on the shelf at cover price, and then they do that, sell it for 5 times the price. Which is why I know some shops will limit you and not let you buy multiples of a book because they're like, no, they're for our customers, sort of thing. Where do you stand on that, Mark? Like,
I don't have a limit, to be honest. But if you're buying more than 10, obviously you're not buying them for yourself. You're buying them to flip. So don't even bother asking for a discount.
Yeah.
Because your money is the same as every other money guy who's going to come in here. I'm sorry, but I can't do a limit thing because.
At the end of the day, it's money for you, right?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, there's a thing called a standing order too.
Yes.
You know, and you can ring, and I've got a phone number, and people can call me and say, "Can you put it aside for me?" And I will do that.
And that's where I don't have, like, you know me, right? If I want a cover and I want 3 of them, I'll put it on my order.
Correct.
I want that time.
And you'll always get those 3 covers. But so I don't really have that's my policy on people want to go out buy multiple buys.
I don't think I have a problem with people maybe buying an extra copy or 2 to maybe sell further down the track. I do feel like I have a problem with people who come in and just clean up the shelf, because you're going to get those customers who come in and just like, what the hell? But again, referring back to comic book terminology, that's why a standing order is so important. Often you don't know that these books are going to be spec books too.
I don't know. I just find I don't have an issue with it. And then if they want to go put it on the internet and sell it at a more expensive price, that's okay too. I mean, that's their prerogative. I have no right to tell someone you can't buy 10. I'm sorry, because what am I going to say? I find it ridiculous for me to tell someone, sorry, you can't buy 10 because I've got to leave it for other customers. So what are you, not a customer of mine? What are you, not a customer?
Because I know you.
That's just not fair, man. Because I've copped it.
Yeah, I know a story about you not being able to buy 2 copies.
So I hated it. You know what I mean? And even though I have the power to do that, it's just there's nothing in my own personality would stop someone from doing that, because everyone has a right to do whatever the hell they want, really, the books they buy.
I guess the thing is, you could take advantage then, Mark, and sell some of these books and at the higher price.
I do. And
you hold on to a copy, maybe.
Yeah, I do. Like, I hold on to a copy.
But you don't sell it back.
No, or there are a couple of extras, and usually I do order extras for to hold on to, and maybe in a month or 2 months' time, I'll put it on eBay or put it on in one of my glass cabinets. But to be honest, a lot of that time, people come in and say, "Have you got this issue?" And I've got it upstairs hidden away. And I say, "Yeah, I've got that issue." I'll go upstairs and get it for them, and I'll sell it at cover price.
Yes, I know many a times where Mark's like, "I'm out," and then he gives me this look and he goes, "Let me have a look," and then he goes and grabs me his copy.
And it's not only because of you. I'll do it to everyone.
Yes, I know it'll happen last week, in fact. Now, as far as like comic book investing,
You're always better off investing in the newer stuff.
I guess I've always had this anti-flipper sort of thing, but when I say flipper, I mean the guys who come in and pay 10 and then buy 10 of them off the shelf, and maybe they don't even like comics. It's
No,
different.
they don't, but that's their business.
It's different for people, I think, who know about comics and understand this thing, and maybe get a few, to sell later down the track. But it's something I've definitely considered because I spend so much money on comics now. I'm like, hey, why don't I hold on to some of these books so later down the track when they're hard to get, then that's when I can maybe make some money back. And a lot of people will say, let the hobby fund itself.
And that's not a bad thing. I mean, how do you think I run a comic book store, so I can't bag any of that. Because my hobby has turned into a business. You know what I mean? So I can't really bag anyone doing that, whether it's on eBay, whether it's a flipper. So I have no right to bag that just because, whoop-de-doo, they're buying it at $8.50 and then going and flipping it for 15, maybe 20 to 50 bucks. I mean, that's business, people, and if you don't like it, you don't buy from it. That's as simple as that, or go and do it yourself. I mean, one of the freedoms in society that you could do without any stipulation, so why not go and do it?
I know that you sell a lot of your old books from your PC as well.
Yeah, when I first opened the store, I did. Yeah.
You did, because I remember you bloody...
Yeah, 100%.
When we did that episode of Comic Gurus, you pulled out this Jim Lee signed book, and then like a month or two later, I saw it in your cabinet for sale. I was like,
Yeah, 100%.
I was like, but that book means
That's what I mean, like, that's all they do. Yeah, 100%. They're my hush, my prized possessions, but I'm a comic book store, and that's what back in the day, that's why I bought them. Back in the day. Back in the day, that's why I bought them.
So some people hate the spec market, even though those people that hate it will also be all about having valuable books and things like that. But I know it's sometimes funny where people will spec on a book, it literally shoots up in price, and then a month or two later,
Price goes down.
it goes way back. Like for example, Bat Dong.
Oh, the Bat Dong?
Well, Bat Dong is not worth half as much as it was when it first came out. So I find it a bit weird that the value seems to be very high as soon as it comes out, but never later down the track.
Yeah, so back in the day, collecting was all about supply and demand. Right now, it's changed. It's gone up another stop with the spec books. So people are speculating. So we're all going. So we, as consumers and as comic book industry watchers, we are taking the word on people who are not experts in the field. They're like us. Comic book spectators, and so they're saying to us, this book is worth this much. So we go along with it. If someone's going to pay that price, I'll sell my one at this price, and so on and so on. It's like a snowball effect. And there's nothing wrong with it, 100%. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with making a buck.
Okay, well, I guess all in all, I'll maybe wrap it up, but I guess, so do you think it is good for the industry or bad?
What do you mean?
So do you think speculation is helps comic books in the long run?
I think it brings them to the front with a lot of people.
At least people are talking about it.
Correct, and the comic book industry, the print industry in general needs that kind of attention, so I think it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's both, I think it's a good balance.
Alright guys, that's all we got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment and let me know what you feel about, or how you feel, about spec books. And again, if there's anything you guys want me and Mark to talk about, please let us know in the comments, and we'll definitely take that into consideration. Mark, say bye, Mark. Bye, Mark. Until next time, guys, keep it simple. What's going on, guys? Oh wait, don't push record.
Plug it.
Check out our last episode on comic book terminology. That wasn't our last episode. That was the last episode that aired, but by the time this comes out.
Last episode that aired.
And also, do you mind? You're being very noisy.
Well, excuse me. Who's answering the phone? It's being noisy. So excuse me.
It's hard when you're this YouTube famous.
If I was to flip this and show the camera, would you be able to pixel it out?
Sure.
No, are you able to pixel it? Oh.
I could put a black bar on it.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's laughing at this. Alright. Anyway, so...
Laughing?
Yeah, you were laughing just then.
I'm smiling.
You're smiling?
In my pants.
In your pants? Come on, man. This is getting bad.